India is reportedly looking to ban cryptocurrencies, thus locking itself out of a massive wave of economic innovation at a time when countries like Russia and Finland are scrambling to welcome the cryptocurrency industry to their shores. US stock trading titan Etrade is getting into crypto. Why is that important? And Iota teams up with Jaguar. Wow. Let's just get straight into it, guys. Traditional trading titan Etrade is getting into cryptocurrency trading, with unnamed sources saying that the exchange is exploring supporting both Bitcoin and Ethereum trading. Now, this is fairly significant because Etrade has around 5 million customers. And they are all about to get exposed to Bitcoin and Ethereum, and probably others in the future. Now, Etrade is a traditional trading platform which gives its customers access to stocks and bonds and futures and ETFs and all that fun kind of stuff, and that is big overall. But this comes only days after Ameritrade was caught testing Bitcoin and Litecoin products on their exchange. And of course, we can add both of those stories into Fidelity, Square, Cash App, Robinhood, Bakkt, etc., etc., etc. Seriously, who at this point even cares about a Bitcoin ETF? Okay, well, let's keep it real. A lot of people do, and a lot of organizations do as well. And I mean, look, the ETF is still coming and will likely cause a big price action and all these different things when it does happen, but there is so much being built out right now. There's so much access. I mean, holy cow, just look what is happening. It's totally wild. Anyway, on to our next story. It seems that not everyone is as excited about cryptocurrency as I am. Crazy. Anyway, the government of India is once again discussing banning cryptocurrencies. According to anonymous government officials who have details of this, they have said that a number of government departments in the country are unfortunately backing the idea of a complete ban on both the issuance and trading of cryptocurrencies, which, if passed, of course, would be absolutely devastating for the average citizens of India. Another out-of-touch government regulating something which they don't really understand. Surprise! A draft bill which is called Banning of Cryptocurrencies and Regulation of Official Digital Currencies. Bill 2019 is reportedly circulating around the relevant officials in India. Then, of course, we have to take that in consideration with the tale of the digital rupee, which is, of course, the central bank's crypto fantasy, which no one except the central bank people are excited about because it's a centralized government-controlled currency. Governments want control, and they can't control Bitcoin, which is why they make these awkward attempts to try and ban the marketplaces. Well, this is not yet set in stone. A final bill based on feedback from the consultative departments, who are all anti-crypto, is going to be put in front of the government in May following national elections in India. Now, currently, crypto is in this weird state of limbo in India, with legislators proposing everything from bans only on privacy-enabled cryptocurrencies to just let's do it but pass really strict laws to let's do the complete ban thing. And they're kind of the complete ban folks are the ones who kind of seem to be in the lead at the moment and directing that conversation. A reminder too that currently Indian cryptocurrency companies are unable to access local banking services, which is something that they have actually been challenging in the court system. However, the courts are now waiting on this for legal guidance before making any kind of decision to allow them banking access or not. The bill, if passed, would be cutting off a further 1.35 billion people from easy access to cryptocurrency. Let's add that into what China has already done with their population of nearly 1.4 billion people. And between these two countries, assuming, of course, that this does actually get passed over in India, then we have, out of our global population of 7.5 billion people, approximately 1 in 3 people who at a state level are prohibited from easily accessing Bitcoin. At every turn, our struggle as a species for freedom, we find this long arm of the government there waiting to tell us, no, you can't have your freedom. Screw that, man. Governments. WTF. However, of course, if China is actually anything to go by, then it will only force crypto underground and into the black market like we've seen happening in China. Because the reality is that these countries cannot stop Bitcoin. They can only make it more difficult to buy it and sell it on public marketplaces. Anyway, in a complete opposite on what India is mulling over doing, we actually see some very positive stories coming out about crypto this week as well. The first comes out of Finland, where Finland's president has approved a law to regulate cryptocurrency service providers, including exchanges, custodian wallet providers, and issuers of cryptocurrencies. This is literally the exact opposite of what we're seeing right now in India. The law will enter into force next week, after which crypto service providers will need to go and get registered with the country's financial supervisory authority and, of course, meet statutory requirements as required by these new laws. Now, it does sound a lot like what we have been seeing recently from countries like Japan and France, and actually, considering what France in particular has been pushing forward recently with announcements like, for example, that firms that opt in to be regulated in France are then guaranteed a bank account in France, which, when we look at the problems globally that the crypto industry has had, particularly with banking and getting banking partners, that is actually really, really big, as well as previous announcements around ICO regulation, being very friendly towards ICOs and crypto visas, and now this news out of Finland. And the fact that this year, Japan is planning on pushing a crypto agenda at the G20 meeting, we should hopefully see some actual positive regulations happening at a much larger scale. But it seems that India and China will be on the other side of the aisle, unfortunately, in this conversation. Bad news for the citizens of those countries. The other positive story is out of Russia. Legislators in Russia have proposed a draft bill for the development of neuro and quantum technologies, artificial intelligence, robotics, virtual and augmented reality, and cryptocurrency and blockchain technologies. Of course, the sandboxes will aim to provide a more flexible regulatory environment than the one which is currently found in Russia at the federal level in terms of a legal framework. The sandboxes basically limit the legal risks for these businesses and actually provide a setting inside of Russia where innovation can actually take place in these industries, and at the same time allowing for the legal frameworks to actually be developed by real world testing. The sandbox approach is a form of basically technology testing and legislative development that is becoming increasingly popular around the world, with sandboxes now happening in many regions. The regulatory sandboxes will be created in the capital, of course, which is Moscow, and the regions around Russia of Perm-Krai, which is in central Russia, the Kaluga Oblast, which is a region adjacent to Moscow, and Kaliningrad Oblast, that little bit of Russia which you find sandwiched between Poland and Lithuania. Actually, I'm quite surprised to not see St. Petersburg or Vladivostok on this list. Maybe in the future, though. And of course, this is only days after the idea of using a cryptocurrency for Crimea, a region which, due to international sanctions, is having an incredibly hard time accessing capital investment for the region. Of course, the Crimea crypto story is something I do remain a bit skeptical of, and unexcited about if it ends up being, of course, a government-issued stablecoin run on a walled garden network. I'm slightly more optimistic about the project, though, if it is a stablecoin which is on a public network. And I, of course, will be very enthusiastic about the Crimea project if they actually propose using Bitcoin. Hasn't happened yet, though. Anyway, these announcements and others that have been made recently are all signaling that Russia is getting very, very serious about not missing out on the cryptocurrency train. And finally, for today, Iota, a significant partnership with Jaguar Land Rover, which is, of course, Britain's largest auto manufacturer, has been announced, with Jaguar working on testing software that will allow drivers to earn Iota as a reward for sharing data. The next generation of Jaguars will come with smart wallets that will allow for crypto transactions, which would, for example, reward Jaguar drivers with Iota for actions such as enabling their vehicles to automatically report useful data like traffic congestion or even potholes to navigation providers or local authorities, as well as drivers being able to earn rewards if the car participates in doing things like ride-sharing programs, which is all very, very cool. The vision is, of course, to see the tokens earned then being able to be used to pay for tolls and parking and for the charging of electric cars, enabling a whole machine-to-machine economy. We don't yet have a timetable for when this will be commercially available, but it is definitely an exciting announcement in terms of adoption news for cryptocurrencies, as well as, of course, great news for any Iota enthusiasts. Cool stuff, guys. Anyway, thank you so much for watching today's video. As always, you guys are supremely awesome, so thank you so much for taking your time to come and watch this video. If you haven't checked out Cryptocurrency Explained yet, make sure to check it out. It is a free 5-hour course designed for beginners. A lot of value for anyone who's been in the crypto space for any amount of time. You can find the playlist just up here, or you can go to thecryptolark.org, where I have all of the videos hosted. Tell a friend, tell everyone, and they can learn about crypto and we can help spread adoption together. If you enjoyed today's video, leave a thumbs up on it. You can always subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. Long live the blockchain, and peace out till next time.